Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news. So, there's a lot of buzz swirling around the NFL lately, and it's not just about the upcoming draft or the usual trade rumors. No, this time we're talking about a potential blockbuster move that could shake the NFC North to its core. And this isn't just speculation. Sources are whispering that the Cleveland Browns might be open to trading one of their most disruptive defensive stars, Myles Garrett. Yes, you heard that right. Garrett might be on the move, and if that happens, the Green Bay Packers could be the team to benefit the most. Now I know what you're thinking. Garrett, a top-tier edge rusher drafted in 2017, has been a titan for Cleveland. Over his 9-year career, he's amassed an incredible 106 sacks, over 500 pressures, and has been a nightmare for offensive lines across the league. His ability to generate pressure, force fumbles, and collapse pockets makes him one of the most feared pass rushers in the NFL. And let's not forget, he's a game changer, an alpha on that Browns defense who can tilt the balance in any game with his relentless pursuit of the quarterback. But here's where it gets interesting. The Browns, currently sitting at 3-8 with a defense that's been leaking points, allowing an average of 28. 4 points per game, are in a tough spot financially. They've got a cap hit of about $22 million for Garrett this season, and with Deshaun Watson's slump, they're actively looking for ways to free up space. Plus, the team's cap situation is tight, and they're eyeing extensions for players like Nick Chubb. Cleveland's front office is also rebuilding their offensive line, with rumors swirling about an ongoing OL rebuild and a focus on acquiring more weapons for Watson. Now, if Cleveland is serious about trading Garrett, the Packers could be the perfect fit. The Packers' defense has been solid but missing that game-changing edge rusher to really push the unit over the top. With Rashan Gary sidelined for now and uncertainty around Lucas Van Ness, who's dealing with a questionable injury, adding Garrett could be a game-changer. Imagine a front seven with Garrett and Gary, creating constant pressure and forcing turnovers. It would elevate the entire defense, especially in the red zone and on third down, where the Packers have struggled at times this season. The potential trade could involve the Packers sending their first-round pick in the 2026 draft, which could be valuable for Cleveland as they look to rebuild their roster. The idea is that Garrett, being only 28, still has several prime years ahead of him, and his presence could propel the Packers' pass rush to new heights, possibly pushing their total sack count from around 35 to 60 or more. That kind of impact could turn Green Bay into a top 5 defense in the league, giving them more opportunities on offense and improving their chances of making a deep playoff run. Let's talk numbers because they really tell the story. Garrett's 2024 stats show a player who's still in elite form, averaging over 18 sacks in 11 games with a PFF grade of 89.8. He's been disruptive in every sense of the word, generating pressures at an incredible rate and consistently forcing offensive linemen into mistakes. His yards after contact per reception, his forced fumbles, these are game-changing plays. Plus, his impact isn't just about sacks. It's about the pressure he applies on every snap, disrupting rhythm and forcing quick throws. And for the Browns, the decision to potentially part ways with Garrett isn't just about cap space or rebuilding. It's also about their long-term strategy. Cleveland's defense, while talented, has seen a dip in sacks, down from around 42 to 29 last season. Losing Garrett would be a blow, but they might see it as a necessary step to rebuild their secondary and offensive weapons. They're also reportedly rebuilding their offensive line and looking to improve their pass protection, which is crucial if they want Watson to reach his potential, and if they want to stay competitive in the AFC. For the Packers, this move could be a turning point. With Garrett leading the pass rush alongside Gary, the defense could become a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. The potential for 25 or more sacks from these two would be a huge boost. It would also allow the Packers to focus on improving their run defense, which has been average at best, by adding more interior beef and beefing up the linebacker core. The impact on the overall team could be transformative, especially considering how much Garrett's presence would elevate the mental and physical intensity of the defense. Looking ahead, the implications for the Packers' season are huge. If they can secure Garrett, they immediately become a contender for the NFC title. Their odds could improve significantly. Initially seen at plus 900, they might move closer to plus 600, especially if this move is coupled with a strong draft strategy and continued development of their young talent like Van Ness and Key Walker. Garrett's presence would also put pressure on NFC rivals like the Vikings and Lions, forcing them to respond with their own upgrades. From a strategic standpoint, bringing Garrett into the fold would also open up more options for the Packers' defensive coordinator. They could dial up more blitz packages, knowing they have a premier pass rusher on the field. It would also help the secondary, as quarterbacks would have less time to throw, reducing the number of big plays allowed and increasing the number of turnovers forced. This defensive upgrade, paired with the Packers' already potent offense led by Jordan Love, could make Green Bay a complete team capable of competing deep into the playoffs. Of course, all of this hinges on Cleveland's willingness to trade Garrett. The Browns' front office is known for being cautious with big trades, especially for a player of Garrett's caliber. They might want a hefty return, possibly their first-round pick in 2026, along with some additional mid-round selections or young players. The Packers would have to weigh the short-term impact against the long-term potential of having Garrett in green and gold. But given the current landscape of the NFC North, where the Lions and Vikings are also adding firepower, this could be the move that takes the Packers from playoff hopefuls to NFC contenders. And let's not forget the broader context. This isn't just about one player or a single season. It's about setting a tone for the future. Green Bay has always been about building a strong, disciplined, and relentless team. Adding Garrett fits perfectly into that philosophy. His relentless energy, his ability to change games with sacks and pressures, and his leadership on the field could inspire the entire defense and the team as a whole to reach new heights. It's about making a statement that Green Bay is serious about chasing another Super Bowl, and that they're willing to make bold moves to get there. Now, I know some of you might be skeptical. After all, trading away a first-round pick isn't always popular. But in today's NFL, where a single player can influence a game as much as Garrett does, sometimes you have to make bold decisions. The Packers have a talented core, but to truly contend, they need that extra edge. Garrett could be that edge, a difference maker who can elevate the team from good to great. And with the right supporting cast, a healthy Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love, and a stout defense featuring Garrett and Gary, the Packers could be looking at a deep playoff run, perhaps even chasing that elusive Super Bowl title once again. So fans, this is something to keep an eye on. The NFL trade deadline is approaching, and if these rumors turn into reality, it could be one of the most impactful moves in recent Packers history. Imagine the roar of Lambeau Field when Garrett steps onto the field, ready to wreak havoc. That's the kind of energy that can propel a team to the next level and etch their name in Super Bowl history. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. In conclusion, while nothing is set in stone yet, the possibility of the Browns trading Garrett to Green Bay is an exciting prospect for fans who crave that game-changing edge. It's a bold move, but one that could define the Packers' season and beyond. The NFC North is getting more competitive by the day, and having Garrett in the fold could be the piece that finally puts Green Bay over the top. So stay tuned, keep your fingers crossed, and let's see how this story unfolds in the coming weeks. If it happens, it could be the kind of move that goes down in Packers history as a turning point, an infusion of talent and tenacity that reignites the quest for another Super Bowl victory. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news.